Yo, what's up guys, it's Gabzzz here and welcome to the best and worst from James Marriott's Are We There Yet? James Marriott is a YouTuber, streamer, musician with over 2 million subscribers on YouTube who makes indie rock music. Now, I've covered James a little bit this year because of the two singles that came off this project, Romanticize This and Don't Blame Me. Those being some of my favorite songs come out this year. So thus, I ended up deciding to review this album. This project is 10 songs, 31 minutes, short and sweet, no filler at all. It starts off with You Are Here, which is a softer tone than what I'm used to hearing from James. It almost sounds like a worship song, the way the guitar builds. I enjoyed the little chimes in it, the little details. The attention to detail on this project is insane. The volume shift though from the second chorus to the verse is quite drastic, but when it all comes together, it just feels beautifully full, and it's mixed absolutely perfectly. I gave it a 7.8. We then get So Long, which is almost more of a punk vibe. The drum build feels similar to Live It Up by Airborne, which is probably a deep cut for some people, but that's what came to my head. I feel like the guitars overshadowed James' voice at certain parts in this song though, but the chorus is perfectly layered. And the bridge is very, very, very well done. The way everything cuts out and then builds back up is beautiful. We then get Going Postal at the Party, which, by the way, the title, I have no clue what that means. But the piano in the beginning really fools you into thinking this track is slower, but then it comes out of nowhere with the guitar and almost feels like a very pop song, which kind of makes sense, you know? The indie space can blend into different indie genres, but it's a little bit more bland than the two tracks we just had, and that's why I gave it a 7.5. Then we get Over My Head. That starts off with a guitar riff that feels like awfully familiar. I have no clue where it's from, but it just feels familiar to me. This one, I don't really have any notes. There's really nothing bad to say about it. It's a very, very solid track, and that's why I gave it a 7.8. We then get maybe my favorite song off the project, Romanticize This. Every single time I hear that build into the chorus, it just evokes emotion out of me. Like, it never gets old. The dichotomy from the verses to the chorus is incredible. The story of the track is perfect, and I just cannot see any flaws in it. I gave it a 9.4. Then the vibe switches up to a very low-key track in between. It really showcases James's ability to use the softer tones of his voice. It almost feels so cinematic, and then that build is beautiful, almost worship-esque again. I don't know if that's just the way I've been raised, but like, it feels worship-esque, but it's still in the best way possible, just so sonically full. I gave it a 9.1. We then get The Other Side, which is a hard left from the previous in the beginning, but drops out and builds over the verse with a beautiful chorus. It's another track where I really have nothing bad to say. I gave it an 8.2. We then get White Noise, a track that is very soft and that I didn't quite connect to. It sounds very good, very beautiful, but when it comes to the story of the track, I personally just didn't relate to it. It felt very personal and something that James has probably experienced in his personal life, and is probably very special to him, but it didn't quite hit the way I think he probably imagined it, at least not for me, and that's why I gave it a 7.3. We then get a beautiful transition from the previous into Denial, which has another softer beginning, which then transitions into one of the more rigid guitar riffs on the album. This track definitely gets your head banging. The drums on this one are amazingly done. I don't know what band James worked with or what musicians he worked with to get this album together, but the instrumentation on this project was definitely on point. I gave this track an 8.1. Then we get Don't Blame Me, and everything I've said about Romanticize This, just repeat it. James is so good at building a dichotomy within his songs that just entice emotion. It's just so fucking good. I gave this one a 9.3. All in all, this project is James Marriott breaking down the door into the music industry. He had been playing around for the past couple years, but this project really solidifies himself as a real musician. I genuinely think he has the potential to be like the Joji type, to completely break away from the online world and have like a music career. I assume he had help with a band, with the instrumentation and production, but as a whole, everything on this project just clicked. His vocal ability really shined through though, as well as his understanding of how to write music. Obviously, if you follow me, this isn't the music I usually cover, but it's still something I very much enjoy, and it's still very, 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 very good. It's so good, in fact, that I wish I had the time to give this project more of my energy, more time to listen, and really flesh out my opinion on it. But at the end of the day, it's an amazing project, and that's not going to change whether I listen to it 1,000 times or 1 time. It gets an 8.2 as a whole from me. So be sure to let me know what you thought of Are We There Yet by James Marriott in the comments down below, and be sure to subscribe for more music content, and I will see you guys in the next video.